In this video, I'm going to talk to you about your Creative Tools assignment that will be due by Sunday of this week. And so just make sure and read all the directions on the document. So the first thing you have to do is just create a copy of this document by clicking on it, like you have done lots and lots of times throughout this semester already. And so the very first thing is put your name here. And to me, it's more important you put your name here than necessarily right here. It just helps me to keep it in order. Okay, so then you're going to move it to your shared folder just like you always have. So you're going to move to up here, the little file folder, and then you're going to stick it in your shared folder, which here's mine, and there it goes. All right, and so that means that I'll be able to have access to it. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to just explore lots of tools. And I have linked some options right here. Some of these documents I think we've seen before in this class already, and so you should be familiar with them. But so this one I think you've seen before. I try to put them in categories, the types of tools that they are, and you can just explore them. I then put links to lots of different people's curated tool resources, and so you can look at those if you want to. Then I have a couple, one more right there that you can go to. Okay, so for this first section, you are actually going to list and link the tools you explored. So let me go back to that document if I can do it quickly. And so if I choose to explore Edpuzzle, then I am actually just going to copy that. And because it says list and link the tool. So Edpuzzle, and I can do that right there. And so Edpuzzle, and what is my initial reaction? Well, if you haven't looked at it, go look at Edpuzzle, but it is a formative assessment tool that you can it's a video that you can put questions in the middle of. And so it's really neat. So I might say something like, I love this tool because I can make sure students are actually watching and understanding the content. Okay, so very short and to the point. And you're going to do that with 5 different tools up here. I do not want you to use tools we've already been using this semester. There are so many tools available that you don't need to do that. The overarching idea of this lesson is to get you to look at lots of different things. Okay, so in parts 2 and 3, they're very similar, but they do have a different focus. The first one are tools that you are going to use to create something. So you will choose 2 tools, and it can be off of these documents. It can be off of something you've already looked at before that you wanted to try. If you want to go back to look at your curated list of resources, if you have some tools on there, you might want to do that. Or you might want to go back and look at your lesson and objective for your HyperDocs lesson that you already brainstormed. And the reason I say that is because you can actually use what you created here in this assignment as a component of your HyperDocs lesson. So I just want to reiterate that these are tools here that you are going to use to create something. So if you after looking at some of the tools, if you want to pick one, so I say don't choose any Google Docs or any other things that you've already done, used a lot. I want you to really look. So you're going to name and give the link to the tool itself here. So the same thing we did to Edpuzzle up here, you're going to put it just right here. So if I wanted to do Edpuzzle again, and yes, you can use tools that you used up here. You can use them down there. So actually, I'm just going to copy and paste this because it takes the link with it as well. And the reason I have you do that is because I don't know all the tools you're going to be looking at. You might find something that I totally have never even heard of, and I need the link to it just so I can go look at it. So then you're going to tell some pros. So what does it allow you to do? It shows me it gives me the opportunity to show content and place questions within. And then you also need to add some cons to that, because we all know there are challenges to almost every tool. So if the students might have a hard time utilizing it, or you might have a hard time utilizing it, just put whatever might be a challenge there. And then here you're going to actually have to create and link an example of one that you created. So with Edpuzzle, you would find a YouTube video, you would upload it to Edpuzzle after you created an account, and then you would insert a question or two in the middle of that. It doesn't have to be a very big example. It can be very short and to the point, but I want you to get into the habit, or the to where you can know what it's like, not just looking at it. I want you to actually create one. And then, so you're going to give me the link right here, and it'll be an Edpuzzle link, and I don't have that. And then right here, you're going to explain how it could be used within your HyperDoc. And I just want you to type over these words right here. So you might say, I would use this in the explain section to deliver content and keep my students engaged and active at the same time. Okay, so really easy, quick, and to the point. So you're going to do that same thing with this one, or with two different tools. Give a short link and then explain it. And then for the part 3, you're actually going to be looking at tools that your students would use to create something within your HyperDocs lesson. And you can choose from those same lists again, or you can find your own. But remember to keep it in mind that your students are going to be creating this. And so if you have them do like a SoundCloud, that is an audio composition tool. Let's see. Oh, SoundCloud. And then you would link the tool there to that. Then you would do the same thing with pros and cons. And then you would actually give an example. So if you're going to have your students explain, let's say you're doing a math lesson, you're going to have them explain how they solved a problem that they were having to explain or having to solve. You would record yourself giving an explanation of that math problem. Okay, and you would link that example right here because it'll be an audio file. And then you're going to say, students will use SoundCloud in the explain section, because they're going to share their thinking and problem solving with the math problem. Okay, very quick and to the point. And so remember, these up here are ones that you are going to use to create something. These down here are ones that students will be using to create something. Make sure on these links for the examples, make sure they are shared. I almost every semester have problems with this. People don't share it to where it's public, or share where it's possible that I can get in there and look at it. So just do that, make sure. All right, so that's a brief overview of the Creative Tools assignment. If you have any questions, please let me know.